In the age of digital information, the speed of a lie often outpaces the arrival of the truth. Over the last few months, we have witnessed one of the most glaring examples of this in the Indian media landscape, the reporting of the so-called Epstein files. What began as a complex legal disclosure in the United States was quickly weaponized by the opposition leaders and a section of the pro-Congress media to launch a coordinated character assassination campaign against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, his cabinet ministers, and industrialist Anil Ambani. The narrative was as sensational as it was baseless. Headlines screamed that Modi-Epstein connection had finally been exposed, suggesting that the Prime Minister and the billionaire Anil Ambani were part of the Jeffrey Epstein's dark world of exploitation. This wasn't just a mistake of interpretation, it was just a deliberate abandonment of the most basic standards of journalism. Media houses and digital portals, long perceived as the ideological allies of the Congress party, threw caution to the wind to publish what can only be described as high-decibel propaganda. Let us look at the facts that these reports conveniently ignored. The Epstein files released by the US House Oversight Committee did mention names like Hardeep Singh Puri and referenced attempts to contact the Prime Minister's office. However, the context was entirely strategic and geopolitical. The documents revealed that Epstein, a man who spent his life brokering influence, had attempted to create back-channel communications between the US, Israel, and India. The files contained emails from Epstein trying to arrange meetings with leaders like Steve Bannon and Prime Minister Modi in 2019. Crucially, the documents provided zero evidence that these meetings ever took place, nor did they suggest that any Indian leader was involved in Epstein's criminal sex trafficking ring. Yet for several days, the Indian digital space was flooded with exposes that conflated with strategic name dropping by a foreign financier with personal criminal involvement. Media houses like The Wire, The Public India, and DV Live led to the charge, often amplifying the statements of Congress leaders like Pawan Khera and Supriya Shrinate. These portals chose to highlight the mere presence of a name in the email while burying the fact that being mentioned by a serial name dropper like Epstein is not an indictment of character. It was a classic case of guilt by association, or in this case, guilt by one-sided email. The irony is palpable. While these media outlets often claim to be the last bastions of the unbiased journalism in India, their reporting on Epstein case showed a shocking lack of skepticism. They didn't just report the news, they packaged a foreign conspiracy theory to suit a domestic political agenda. By failing to clarify that these files were about geopolitical brokering and not sexual crimes, they misled millions of Indians. They peddled a version of the events where Anil Ambani's inquiries about diplomatic schedules were framed as something sinister rather than the standard activities of a global industrialist. The shameful biases highlighted the growing crisis in the Indian media. When journalism is reduced to an extension of a political party's social media cell, the public loses its ability to distinguish between a genuine scandal and a manufactured storm. The pro-Congress media's eagerness to link the Prime Minister to a disgraced American pedophile without a shred of evidence is not just bad reporting, it is a disservice to the nation. It represents a desperate attempt to find dirt where none exists, even if it means sourcing that dirt from the delusional emails of a dead criminal. As the dust settles, the truth remains. There is no Epstein-Modi scandal. There is only a scandal of journalistic ethics. The media houses that indulged in this propaganda have once again proven that their commitment is not to the truth but to a narrative. It is a reminder to every viewer to look beyond the sensational thumbnails and these screaming headlines, because in the pursuit of a political points, some sections of the media have no qualms about throwing the truth under the bus. Friends, this was today's analysis. Hope you liked it. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe so that you continue to get analytical news items like this. Thanks for watching.